Every day I wake up's different. Some days I'll think like retire from boxing on top undefeated and don't give him his rematch, yeah? Make him suffer that way. And other days I think, yeah, I'll fight him and knock him out. Other days I think, yeah, I'll fight him and take a dive. Other days I don't know what I'm going to do. And this is the truth. I ain't lying. I'm going to pour it all out to you. Just so everything's on the table. You know what to expect on the night.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, once again, undefeated, two-time heavyweight world champion, British superstar boxer, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, and his team, they once again get exposed for not telling the truth. Tyson Fury, whose career was resurrected by Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. When Tyson Fury was supposed to go into an immediate rematch with then the longest reigning champion in the heavyweight division, superstar Hall of Famer Vladimir Klitschko, in which he had defeated Vladimir Klitschko via unanimous decision, supposed to have an immediate rematch with Vladimir Klitschko, and Tyson Fury, he did everything in his power not to have the immediate rematch with Vladimir Klitschko. And then we know that Tyson Fury, well, he tested positive for a banned substance on the UCAD, United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency list. He was suspended, then he went on a 3-year hiatus. He never gave Vladimir Klitschko his immediate rematch. Why is that important to what we're discussing today? Tyson Fury has never fulfilled any of his obligations. Tyson Fury was contractually obligated to give Deontay Wilder a trilogy match following their second fight, in which Tyson Fury didn't take the immediate rematch as he was scheduled to do at that point in time. Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder the first time. Fight ended in a draw. Deontay Wilder dropped Tyson Fury twice. Tyson Fury, according to boxing experts, fans, he was outboxing Deontay Wilder. Nonetheless, the first fight ended in a draw. Supposed to have an immediate rematch. Tyson Fury, he then chose to go in a completely different direction, not fulfill the immediate rematch obligation. He chose to sign with legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter, network ESPN, worldwide leader in sports, and Bob Arum. And with that said, he then chose to have two interim fights, Tom Schwartz and Oliver Wallin, in no particular order. And then he decided to go into the rematch with Deontay Wilder, which saw Deontay Wilder face his mandatory Dominic Brazil, then a rematch with Luis King Kong Ortiz, which he got knockouts in both fights. Then they went into their rematch. So Deontay Wilder, he waited. Although he was the champion, he waited and gave Tyson Fury the rematch on his terms. Right? As Vladimir Klitschko was going to give Tyson Fury the rematch on his terms as well. But Vladimir Klitschko wasn't a champion. Deontay Wilder's a champion. Their fight, their rematch, was rescheduled twice and then never took place. What you heard is the voice of Tyson Fury talking about giving his opponents rematches. And every day he wakes up in a different mindset and don't know what he's going to do. If he's going to give a rematch, if he's just going to retire undefeated. That's the voice of Tyson Fury. So then Tyson Fury, he did what he said he was going to do in a rematch, was walk Deontay Wilder down and stop him, just like his father, Big John Fury, former world title fighter himself. Excuse me. And he got the 7th round stoppage, deactivated his social media, didn't celebrate or allow the fans to celebrate with him. Then Tyson Fury, he attempted to maneuver around the contractual obligated trilogy match that he agreed upon and signed off on to fight fellow countrymen, two-time unified heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua, in an all-undisputed match, in which the entire boxing world, all the fans, and everybody included, were on board with him breaching his contract with Deontay Wilder to fight Anthony Joshua. As if this wasn't a legal matter. So Deontay Wilder took it to mediation and arbitration, in which Deontay Wilder won the arbitration. And then you had the media and the fans saying Deontay Wilder should take step aside money. Fast forward to what we're talking about now, in which Tyson Fury and his promoter and his team, you have his father, Big John Fury, Tyson Fury, they're saying Deontay Wilder was asking for a whopping $20 million to step aside to allow himself to fight his fellow countryman, Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom CEO and promoter Anthony Joshua, they went as far as to even secure a date and look to secure a venue for August 14th for an all British undisputed showdown, knowing that Tyson Fury was in arbitration with Deontay Wilder legally. And they did it anyway. And then they took to social media after the arbitration ruled in the favor of Deontay Wilder, and then they stated this was Tyson Fury's fault, as if Anthony Joshua, who just recently once again said it was Tyson Fury's fault for the fight not coming to fruition, as if they weren't aware that he was contractually obligated to give and fulfill a trilogy match with Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder in a trilogy match. Everybody knows that. We all know this. So Eddie Hearn is saying that they didn't want the fight. Anthony Joshua is saying it's Tyson Fury's fault for the fight not happening. He's choosing not to fight Anthony Joshua when legally he can't fight Anthony Joshua. The judge gave him an ultimatum: fight Deontay Wilder in trilogy or retire. Has nothing to do with the belt. It has everything to do with a contract that he's legally obligated to fulfill. And if he breaches it, those are the consequences. Allegedly. On my part. So with that said, instead of them just saying that, well, the arbitration ruled in Deontay Wilder's favor and Deontay Wilder wants the trilogy match. No, they ran with the narrative and told the public that Deontay Wilder wasn't willing to take anything less than $20 million of step-aside money to allow himself to fight Anthony Joshua. And then Tyson Fury, he continues to run with the narrative, and he states, well, I'm not going to pay him $20 million. I'm not even going to pay him $1. I'd rather just fight him. Well, now we know, as we know, Deontay Wilder was just looking for the trilogy match. All he wanted was the trilogy match. You even had Max Kellerman on ESPN, the biggest sporting platform in the world, and his partners stating that Deontay Wilder was looking for $20 million to step aside, which was unrealistic. And now we know they was just pushing the narrative to make Deontay Wilder look like he was holding up the undisputed match. Well, he is holding up the undisputed match for his trilogy fight, not for money. Not an unrealistic amount of money, because now we see that the lawyer and Deontay Wilder's manager, Shelly Finkel, have completely let it be known that they have the paperwork to show, and the lawyers, that they was completely taken back that wasn't even an option. Not that they were looking for it, but it was never even an option on the table. They never even offered the possibility of a step aside. So how could Deontay Wilder possibly ask for a number if they never even offered to even have the intent to pay him step aside money regardless of the price amount? The intent was never there to give Deontay Wilder step aside money, to not have the trilogy, to stage the undisputed match, and for him to fight the winner. That was never an option. So where did they come up with a number of $20 million and state that he was pricing himself out and holding up the undisputed match, just to put the accountability on himself and take it off of them? Just like Anthony Joshua is taking the accountability off of himself and placing it on Tyson Fury when he's well aware of the business and he's well aware of the legal obligations for Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury doesn't want the trilogy match. And so we fast forward, the date was set for July 24th. And then apparently he came down with C19, tested positive, and the fight needed to be postponed. So now you have his promoter, legendary promoter Bob Arum. He's furious. He's saying that Tyson Fury was irresponsible and his team was irresponsible. And now we see Joseph Parker, former WBO heavyweight world champion. They're saying that Joseph Parker was a carrier himself, allegedly, and he was out and about. We saw him at a UFC event hours after they told us and broke the news that Tyson Fury tested positive. Then Joseph Parker said he wasn't a carrier. He didn't test positive. But now they're saying he did. So you see how it's conflicting? But Tyson Fury continues to get the benefit of the doubt, whatever he does. And Deontay Wilder continues to have to bear the accountability for everything that takes place. So now we see and we know that there was never even an inkling of Tyson Fury and his team to want to pay step-aside money. It was never on the table to begin with. So how could he ask for $20 million? And Bob Arum says that, and he confirms this. Bob Arum says that he just ran it by PBC, Premier Boxer Champion, founder, and advisor Al Heyman. He said he ran it by Al Heyman. Is there a possibility of step-aside money? And he stated that Al Heyman said, that's not an option. And Bob Arum says, we never even revisited before we even got the ruling in the arbitration. So therefore, they knew very well that there was never a number for Deontay Wilder to take step-aside money. Because Bob Arum let it be known that it was never even an option for them. And now we know that it was never even an option legally on the table. There was never even an offer from Tyson Fury and his side. So once again, we see the games that's being played on the side of Tyson Fury. But yet he'll continue to get the benefit of the doubt moving forward. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.